Hey, how you guys doing out there today? This is Stephanie Jimenez from the Roto Beast team, and I'm here to present you our NBA picks for Saturday, November 25th. If you want to watch all of our NBA, NFL videos that have all of our picks, please make sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Roto Beast. And if you want to play the actual lineups that we're playing, please visit our website at www.rotobeast.net. So, we got a 10-game slate. Honestly, there's some things to like about this slate, but there's just something that's I'm not liking about this slate. But we'll do the best that we can to kind of get you, some real quality picks to kind of get your lineup started. We'll start with the top game. It's going to be the Pelicans going into Golden State. Both teams are coming off a back-to-back. Are coming off blowout wins. This is back-to-backs for both of them. This game has the highest implied total of 230 projected points to be scored. And Golden State is favored by 13. Next, we will talk about the Orlando Magic's going into Philadelphia. This game has the second highest implied total of 220 points projected to be scored, and Philadelphia is favored by 4.5. The next game we're looking to target is the New York Knicks versus the Houston Rockets. This game has the third highest implied total of 219 projected points to be scored. Houston's favored by 13.5, so they do think this is going to be a blowout. In Vegas, they're usually pretty good with their numbers. So that's one thing you got to watch out for is the blowout. Next, we will talk about Toronto going into Atlanta to face the Hawks. This game has a 212 implied total. Toronto is favored by 7.5, and both of these teams are also on a back-to-back as well. And then we got Boston going into Indiana. This game has a 207 implied total. Boston's favored by 2. And then one more game that I do like a lot that I'm going to be targeting as well is going to be Portland versus Washington. I don't have no information on it. Vegas hasn't put out a line yet. I'm guessing it has a lot to do with if John Wall is going to play or not. He's listed as game time decision right now. So those are kind of the games that I'm going to be focusing on tomorrow. Let's just jump right into the picks. We'll start off with Russell Westbrook at point guard. I know this is the dub play, but you know what? Some people may not think it's the dub play, and I want to make sure everybody knows that the guy, he's back to what he's been doing, last season. 60 fantasy points in the past 3 games. Last season we were playing them at a 12.5 price tag, so this 10.8 price tag is still pretty low for him in my opinion. All we need is about 53 fantasy points to hit value. I really like him tomorrow. I think he's a really, really good cash game play and a really good staple in your lineup that's going to get you those points. I think he really realized that, hey, my team, they're going to need me to do what I do, and everybody else is going to have to feed off of me instead of him trying to take a back seat for Carmelo and PG. It's his team. He has to do what he has to do, and he's been doing that the past 3 games, and I really like him tomorrow. We got Curry. Durant's doubtful. Without Curry, everything's pretty much going to be facilitated through Steph Curry. Tonight, he only played 26 minutes. He went off for 33 points, 23 in the second quarter, 23 or 24 in the second quarter, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 51 fantasy points. I think this is still too cheap for him, especially without Durant. I think this guy's a really good play. I can see you going with Westbrook and Curry, and then kind of finding value elsewhere. Both of these guys are really good plays tomorrow. And if you want to go a little bit on the cheaper end, Kyrie, up-tempo game against Indiana. He's coming off a game where he only played 24 minutes against, the Magics, and he went off for 30 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Got 41 points, so I'm not really too worried about the back-to-back. I like Kyrie, and for 8,300, he's a very fair price. Then we'll talk about a guy. I think you're going to end up paying for Curry or Westbrook, and then you're going to end up going with Mr. T.J. McConnell right here. This guy, he's pretty good when he gets minutes, but that's the thing is when he gets minutes. So now you got the rookie Ben Simmons hurt right now. McConnell's looking to start tomorrow, and he's probably gonna play low 30 minutes. He does a little bit of everything. That's what I like about him. And I mean, he's a really, really good price. For value, you need about 22. If he's going to start and play 30 minutes, I think he's, especially in an up-tempo game against the Magics, I think he's going to get there. And I think he's a really good cash game play tomorrow. And one more guy I'll talk about quickly is Rondo, 5,400. I mean, he's just consistent. He's good for his price, 5,400. You need about 26 from him. And he's been in the 20s pretty much every game since he's been back. He's only playing 25, 22, 24 minutes. One time has he gotten to 30 minutes. And if they can keep this game somewhat close against Golden State, which I don't know they can, he can possibly get into the 30s. I think he can definitely crush value. But Rondo's a good play at point guard. Next, we'll go shooting guard, James Harden. For me, anytime he's on the slate, he's in consideration. I mean, the guy's just a beast. 11.2, you need about 56 for value. I mean, he's been there a lot lately. Last game, he didn't get there against Denver. But he still almost got a triple-double that game. He just didn't score that much. The guy's averaging 53 fantasy points a game. I really like James Harden tomorrow. The one thing I would say to be careful with is the Knicks are coming off. They played today. They're going to play on the second of a back-to-back. They could get blown out. And that's the one thing that does scare me about Harden. Next, we'll talk about Bradley Beal. Mr. Consistent. You need about 37 for him to hit value. He's averaging 37 a game this season. Going against Portland is going to be an up-tempo game. The guy's just, like I said, he's just very consistent. I really like him, especially if John Wall's not playing tomorrow. This guy is going to be a really, really good play. Then we got Klay. If Durant's out, somebody has to pick up scoring. Him or Curry will pick it up. You've seen tonight, he only played 25 minutes. Durant was out. He scored 29 real life points and a 37 fantasy point outing for us. 6.6K. You need about 33 from him, and I think he's going to be very close to that. Clay's a really good play. Then we'll talk about Holiday. Where's he at? Right here. Holiday. This dude, he didn't play the fourth quarter today. He got 35 against Phoenix. You can't expect that against Golden State and Klay, but I mean he's a really fair price tag at 6,000. You need about 30 for fantasy value. He's averaging 30 on the season. If the game's close, he's gonna play a lot of minutes, and I like the guy. I think he's a little too cheap for what he does for the most part, and for the minutes he's been playing this season. One more guy I skipped over, but I like. He's only 6,500. C.J. McConnell. I mean, this guy. I mean, he's really consistent as well. I mean, he's almost in the 30s. Almost every game, averaging 33 fantasy points a game. And his price has really dropped. He's only 6'5", so you only need 32 from him for value. I mean, this guy's a really good player. I think you can lock him in your cash games and just move on as well. I really like that Portland versus Washington game a lot. I really, really like that game. So, move on, small forward, Giannis. When he's on the slate, you always got to consider him. He does have a knee injury, so he's listed as questionable right now. The guy, he plays massive minutes. He has a chance to get 60 almost any night. He's averaging 56 fantasy points a game. At his salary, you need about 58. I don't know if I really, really like him tomorrow that much. But, I wanted to mention him because, I mean, he's one of the best players on the slate, in my opinion. Then we got Paul George going into Dallas. Paul George, I mean, he's been doing pretty good this year. He's averaging 40 fantasy points a game. For him to hit value, we need 44. If this game stays close against the Mavericks, I think he can definitely get it. He's been playing very well lately. So yeah, Paul George, he's a really good player, and he's, I think he's a fair price. Then we got Jaylen Brown. Hopefully he plays tomorrow. I like him a lot. I'm going against the Pacers in an up-tempo game. I mean, this young man, he's just been consistent. We need 6,000 for him to hit value. We need 30 for him to hit value at a 6,000 salary. He's been at 30 in every game except for one. The past 6 of the past 7 games. You gotta like the young man's game. And I said I really like him. He can be a really good cash game play. Then you could go down to Ariza, 5,500. Ariza, it's all about if his shot's going down, he has a monster night. Every time he scores 20, he gets up there every time. But it's a matter if the shot's going down or not. This game also, like I was saying earlier with Harden, definitely a blowout potential. So you got to be careful with all the Houston guys. Then we're just going to go to the cream of the crop of the value, all right? First of all, we'll go with Caspi. Durant, if he's saying he's doubtful for tomorrow. If he's out, you might as well just lock in Caspi, and you might as well just move on with your day because he's going to be a must start. He's going to be at least 70% on in cash games. If he plays 25 minutes, the guy gets fantasy points. 22 minutes, 29, 25, 26. You get the point. Lock him in your lineup as Durant is out. Plain and simple. If he's going to start, put him in there. Another guy that I like as well on the same team is Iguodala for only 3,800. I actually played both of them tonight, Iguodala and Caspi. He got very close to value. We needed he hit value. So, and he didn't play. He didn't play a lot of minutes today. They didn't need him to, but they've shown that they will play him. The minutes if they need him. I like both of these guys at small forward. I think you could definitely go double cheap at small forward, pay up elsewhere. I really like both of these guys, and that's the cream of the crop, when it comes to value tomorrow. Boom, Anthony Davis against the Warriors. I think he's going to have a really good game. The guy's averaging 50 fantasy points a game this season. We need 55 from value. I like him tomorrow against the Warriors, especially if there's no Durant. I think the game's going to be a lot closer. Anthony Davis, top power forward. Porzingis against Houston, up-tempo game. He's doing everything for his team. For his price, we need about 45. He's got there 2 times in the past 5 games, 3 times in the past 7. 3 times in the past 7 games. So it is, kind of a steep price for him. But if you're looking for consistency, it's there. The minutes are there. He's scoring. He's getting defensive stats. I like Porzingis. He's a really good play tomorrow. Carmelo Anthony. His price is just cheap. 7,000. That's very fair for him. You need 35 for value. He's been in the 30s the past 5 games. He's playing really well. He's scoring. He's still averaging 20 points a game, even though you got Westbrook and Paul George. He's quietly having, a solid season right there. 34 fantasy points. He's averaging a game. Carmelo, I like him tomorrow. The only thing that scares me about the Warriors, about the Thunder, is that they're going against the Mavericks. And the Mavericks are a slow-paced team, and they're not a very good team. So it's a combination. It could be a recipe for disaster. But, he's a fair price. So look at Carmelo tomorrow. And we got the young guy Tatum, 6,000, up-tempo game against Indiana. Usually, he's been getting about 30 minutes a game. He has had the occasional, 20 minutes, 27 minutes. But, he's, for the most part, he's getting his minutes. And he's been fairly consistent, averaging 27 fantasy points a game. In the past 6, he has 35, 18, 38, 32, 37, 22. So, he's been doing good. I like the young guy. The young guy's been playing well. I think he's in a good spot tomorrow. So definitely consider him. And then one more guy I'll talk about, the old guy, Zach Randolph. 5.5, we need 27. He's been playing good. Check it out. Past 2 games, 30, 48. You want to, come on, you think this guy went in a time machine and went 5 years back. But hey, he does have the, 32, 35. He has it. He has it in him. I like him tomorrow. I think he's a little bit more of a tournament play, but he does have upside. I definitely think you could consider him in cash games. If he's going to get 30 minutes like he got last game, even 27, 28 minutes, I mean, this guy, he's a fantasy point monster. So Zach Randolph, I really like him at 5,500. Now we'll go to center. DeMarcus Cousins against the Warriors. They're going to need Cousins and Davis to go off if they want any chance against the Warriors. 54 fantasy points he's averaging this season. And hey, he's getting his minutes. So, he's the top center. I don't really need to go too far into it. He's a pretty obvious, one of the best plays. Joel Embiid going against, I say this every night, Vucevic for the Magics is a good offensive player, but he can't guard for shit. And I think Joel Embiid is going to eat him up. You need 50 for value. 50 is a big number for Embiid. But, I mean, if he's going to get me these 33, 34, 35 minutes, that he got, 3 straight games, even if they say, okay, he's locked in for 33 minutes. I mean, I think the 10,000 is not bad. I think he's gonna get close to 50. He gets fantasy points quick. He's averaging 45 fantasy points a game this year so far. I like him. I think he's a really good player. He's gonna be low owned. I don't think he's gonna be too high owned. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if he helps somebody take down GPP. Al Horford, 7,000. This guy, he's just consistent. I mean, he's going to get you, he's averaging 33 fantasy points a game this season. I mean, that's just pretty much what he's getting you on a nightly basis. You need, for 7,000, you need about 35 fantasy points. I like him. I think he's going to have a really good game against the Pacers. Miles Turner's a young dude. He could get in foul trouble. And another thing I like about Horford as well is, I mean, look at this guy's assist totals: 10, 4, 7, 6. This is from your center. This guy, he can get a triple double. He's really good, and he's a very fair price tag. He's consistent. Next, we'll talk about Capela. I mean, this guy is having a really good year. He's averaging 34 fantasy points a game. For his price tag, we need about 34, so that's perfect. He doesn't get the most minutes, which I hate, and it kind of kills it for me. But, I mean, the numbers don't lie. 38, 33, 32, 43, 41, 43, 32. I mean, he's had a bad game here, but, I mean, it's one game. In fantasy, you have to look past one game, and, that's kind of where we're at. So, let me see. The last people I'm going to talk about. This is the other value. Alright? We got 2 guys. First, we'll start with the guy who started today. We played him. Everybody played him. Kyle Quinn. If we hear that Cantor's out again, he's going to start. Played 23 minutes today. He only got 14 fantasy points. That was kind of ugly, okay? But, I mean, we need the guy. Last year he started. I mean, there was a couple games he hit 40 plus. I think about 40 was his high. But when he gets minutes, he fills up the stat sheet. He couldn't score for shit today, but I mean, he's capable of scoring 12, 15 points. Houston is a fast-paced team. They take a lot of three-pointers, so I think he can get some rebounds. He's going to be a really good value to play if he's going to start tomorrow. And then you got this guy as well, Hernangomez. I mean, this guy, he only played 18 minutes today. So, 6.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. This guy's a guy who fills up the stat sheet as well. For minimum price, $3,000. He hit almost 6 times value. So just keep an eye out on what they say about who's going to play what, or if they say something. If Cantor's out, I think you're going to have to play one of these guys. It's just going to be tricky to which one's going to have the better night. Hey, that's kind of where I'm at for this video. I'll be back tomorrow with my NBA picks, and I hope this helps you, win some money tonight. Make sure and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure and click the like button. That really helps us out, and I'll talk to you later.